Yesterday I learned GIMP because I want to do photo editing, and the two things that Windows does for me better, and thanks for the likes and the thumbs up. The two things Windows does better is video editing and photo editing. So I spent a couple hours yesterday, trying to be productive, trying to be busy, trying to learn photo editing with GIMP. Now GIMP runs on Windows and Mac and Linux, so you're good to go forever. And I actually got it to work for like the first time. I've given this a try maybe 7, 8 times in my life, and I never get enough done to keep on going. And yesterday I actually did get some photos mushed together in a way I wanted. It's still not as fast as the old one I use, which barely runs on Windows 10 anyway. It's not layers, it's just flat. Paint Shop Pro. It's old 90s, I think. Anyway, the best software there is the one That was an old joke because there used to be debates about word processing. Anyway, let's dig in, and feel free to comment. Try to comment, because today is a relaxed day, and I just decided to warm this up and see if I could even get it to work. I have a different camera. I have a different light, different everything. Everything's new every day. I'm not sure about the sound. Did I test that? Oh yeah, it's really pretty good. I'm doing the sound through the camera because I was getting all kinds of hum and buzz and things through the computer or through a headset. And it's really simple through the camera, so that's easy. Hopefully it'll work. Anyway, let's go back here to, and I gotta make this as small as possible. There we go. I just have to move everything around. And that's part of the game also, is just getting the screen in a way that I can see your comments, and I can also see kind of what else is going on. And that's major goofy, but I think I got it now. And so now we'll try changing over to 10 at 10, my usual format. I had to download the movie. That's a movie that's running to spin the globe. That is not trivial, spinning a globe. Think about if you've seen anyone else do that. No, not on live stream on LinkedIn. No one else. That's the way it is. So here's Tom Fishburne today, and here's the productivity trap. How are you using this time to be more productive? That sounds like the boss saying it. I'm learning to code. I'm writing thought leadership. I'm taking every master class. Sounds like me. I'm re-strategizing our marketing plan. I'm learning Mandarin. I'm starting a podcast. I'm focused on digital upskilling, which I've never heard before. I'm just trying to keep it together. Like what she said. See, the key to enjoying this show is to not read these ahead before you actually read them, because that's the way it works. Okay, so let's scroll down. I did highlight it, but I didn't read the cartoon. And there goes the phone, as usual. Why wouldn't it? Right. Tom said a recent survey from Blind found that 83% of marketing communication professionals are reporting burnout. I don't know if I can even get to the phone. Let's see what kind of junk call this is. Hello? It's not even anybody. Now I can't. Now the phone. Look at this. You won't see this every day. Cord. A phone with a cord. Sort of like the backup phone. You know how you can't find the wireless phones? The one you can always find is that one. Okay, so am I still on here? I gotta line myself up again. Okay, back to the productivity mess. So here, 83%. Can you believe this? It's really hard to believe that 83% could be saying that they're messed up with burnout. I'm not burned out. Do I seem burned out to you? No, I just work all the time. I'm an entrepreneur. That's what entrepreneur. We do this for fun. When you love what you do, you never You can never go on vacation. I said that to Jack Miller, who founded Quill. He said, I don't know, we sold the company and, I bought a Jaguar. No, yeah, he bought a Jaguar. His brothers each bought Rolls Royces. He said, they're always in the shop. I said, so now what are you going to do, Jack? He said, I don't know. I said, selling out takes all the fun out of vacation. And he said, yeah, I know. And he bought a couple other businesses. Really like Jack Miller. I've had the real privilege to know some great people. So there are many factors at play, but I wonder how much of this burnout relates to productivity anxiety. Is that a thing? You worry that you're not doing enough. To be busy, the hustle culture. And part of it is that, some crazy lunatic is producing like six live streams a day, and they're actually good. How are you going to keep up with that? Well, the answer is you're not, right? You're just crazy not. You're not going to do that at all. What am I doing here? Oh, I'm trying to remove that. Yeah, that did not work, what I just did. Oh, brother. I don't know how to get at that. Oh, here we go. Transitions. This is why I can't see anything. Right, exactly. I can't see it because I've got... There we go. Now we're getting this thing organized a little bit. I found out I could do a lot more with the OBS format and get it compressed a lot more, but now it's not where it ought to be. Anyway, so we're always fixing stuff. We're always doing stuff, and that's the way it is. Does anybody out there have a similar feeling like you always got to be busy, you always got to be doing something? Anybody out there have what's the dumbest thing you've ever done to keep busy? I remember when I was in the factory between high school and college. This was one of the best things I ever did. People go on a break year. I worked in a factory for the summer, hot, unloading trucks of steel, and I worked with a bunch of guys who had college degrees, and they used to say, "Oh, John, don't work so hard." They said, you can sleep behind the steel piles there, back in the back there. Just take a nap if you want. Little did I know, and I would say to them, hey, you got a college degree. What are you doing here in piecework? And, they were just happy doing it and just getting through life, getting a paycheck. And, a lot of people are. It's not like it's a terrible thing, but it's never been me. I've always been trying to achieve, and I don't know why. I don't know that it's worked out that well. I don't know if my kids would think so. If any kids are on here, say, did it work out? We went on some weird vacations. I signed up for... Yeah, I've kind of given up on classes per se. I signed up for a class from Harvard or Wharton School of Business or something. It was free. No, maybe it was $90. I don't know, but it was cheap. And it was on how to go viral. And, it was either the basics or the impractical because it's a college professor. I should listen to Gary Vaynerchuk and I'd probably do better. So now I just try to find a class that's trying to teach what I'm actually trying to do at the moment, like fix the dishwasher. I see one of the challenges with LinkedIn is that the comments get stuck out of the screen. I ended up with mono. Oh, that's right. Yeah. Well, that, oh well. Anyway, so so then Tom goes on to say that our culture obsessed with productivity, but research shows. Did you know you can say anything following research shows and it sounds credible? Well, think about that. Think about how often do you know what the research actually shows? And Stanford researcher Emma Stepala, she's a researcher, so this has got to be true. Attempting to triumph over an ever-expanding to-do list actually works against us. Well, I got a tip for you, Emma. Like I do this at the grocery store. I'm using Keep now. When you pick up the item that you want on your to-do list, then you put it in the cart, you push the check button and it disappears from the list. There's great fun in crossing things off the list. Take joy in that. And that keeps your to-do list from ever expanding. Don't let it. Keep it to 10. I have a little pad that only has 10. Actually, I've kind of gotten rid of to-do lists, but I'm working on it. One of my to-dos, and it literally is, I wish I could show it to you. One of my to-dos is literally to get back to having a to-do list. You know, I consider myself semi-retired. That means I only work 20 hours a day instead of, or 18 and 16 instead of 20. Okay, here, now this one I really thought was funny. According to the National Bureau of Economic Research, 77% of employees, 3/4 plus of employees say establishing boundaries between work and personal life is the most important work skill. If that were the most important work skill, I would never have to hire anyone. I need somebody that can code or run Python or run procedures or something. I know I need a lot of things, but that is not one that I need to hire. So if that's your problem, then you maybe you do feel burned out. Here's a tip: quit working, and you'll have a big boundary. Or, just go home at 5. I worked at a place where we had to go home at 5. That didn't work out too well for me. I worked at a place where they required you to have a clean desk when you went home. Some study that some consulting firm did, and so I just push it in. I made sure I had an empty drawer, so I'd push it into the drawer and pull it out again in the morning. The real question for everybody, they'd come by, and this was in the days when we had actual real offices with a door and walls and a window, maybe, or maybe not a window, but I don't remember if mine had I don't think it did. I think I was in there really by myself, and you could smoke a pipe in there. Can you imagine? This must have been, it was the early 80s. You could smoke a pipe in your office by yourself if you wanted. Wow. The world has changed. I knew that banning smoking was a slippery slope. Think about that. Okay, so now there's boundaries between everything because you're not allowed to do anything. You're not allowed to have any fun anymore. Okay, Intel recently tried to address burnout by helping employees disconnect from work. In the U.S., overall vacation requests have dropped by almost half, largely driven by limited places to go. You know what's interesting about the United States? People give us a lot of grief because we have more money and more stuff than everybody else in the world. But we work really hard. And one of the things that makes capitalism so great is most of the time, if you're not an idiot about what you do with your time, if you are somewhat try to be working on something people will like, you're inventing something or writing a book or a patent or something, or doing live streaming, most of the time you will actually get some return on investment. People say, did you ever make anything on these goofy videos you do? Well, yeah, when back in 2012, I got a call, and a company that I'd worked with in the past, the VP of marketing called and said, my boss watched one of your videos and decided we needed to hire you again. And that was worth $140,000. So that kind of keeps you going for a while, right? Just that idea. And, I had another really good call from a guy from USPS. This was just 2 months ago or something. And he said, well, it's good to see you on video regularly. I know that you're alive during the pandemic. There's some value in that, I think. And so people know that I'm still alive. I don't know. You got to be out there. But my point is that in capitalism, you can work on things you think will either give you joy or give you a return on investment. And because of that, we tend to work harder because, the lower the taxes are, the more you get to keep of what you earn. So there's a big incentive to earning and having fun. And if you can combine the two, which you're free to do because nobody tells you exactly what to do, that's the plus and the minus of it. Free societies work hard and enjoy their work. Whereas if somebody's got a gun to your head and says, break these rocks or die, you're not going to go with it. You're not going to have quite the same enthusiasm. Something to think about. Something to think about as we have people seriously trying to destroy capitalism. Yeah, well, go look at where it's worked out. Oh, we'll do it right this time. No, you won't. Because it absolutely goes against human initiative and human joy. Think about that. That's not an argument most people make. Okay, so anyway, they decided that floating holidays and award prizes help employees bring to life their staycation ideas. Well, this is what I'm doing on vacation. Okay, when I worked at Method years ago, co-founder Eric Ryan used to say the HR director is the new marketing director. He was referring to the importance of the organization culture as a brand. Marketing flows from the inside out. A healthy work culture is ultimately tied to a healthy brand and a healthy business. That might be true. I don't know. I got hired by Harbor Freight and Salvage back years ago, and they flew me out. I had my first cereal with fruit and yogurt on the top, like granola with fruit and yogurt. I'd never had that before, but you get that stuff when you're in California. So they flew me out. They bought my hotel. I said, you got to do that or I'm not coming. And they put me in I came into the lobby or whatever, talk to the receptionist. She said, you could go into the cafeteria if you like. So I got in there, and I'll never forget then they took me to the boardroom. The president and the employees came in. The president was in like a Hawaiian shirt and khaki shorts, put his legs up on the conference table desk, leaned back in his chair, put up his legs, really hairy legs. And he was a real heavy guy. And he said, okay, Mr. Consultant, what can you do for us? And I said, well, usually we start these meetings by me asking, what would you like help with? He said, oh, anybody can figure it out once I tell you. But he said, I'd like to know what you think we need. It's kind of like Daniel, when the king called and said, interpret my dream. And all the wise men said, well, what is it? And the king said, oh, anybody can do it once I tell you. I want somebody who can tell me what the dream was and interpret it. Okay, so anyway, I paused for a minute and I said, well, given the 3 rooms I've been in, the lobby, the lunchroom, and the conference room, I would say that you pride yourself on keeping overhead really low. There's no fluff in this office building. There's no Greek statues. And looking at the people in the conference room, I would say that you also keep wages pretty low. You have high turnover. You don't have a lot of training, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And he said, I think I actually gave him the prescription. I said, you have employee issues, don't you? Because there was a piece of paper an old consultant guy gave me when I first started out. He said, there's always a problem or they wouldn't have called you, and it's always a people problem. And so, so I said, you got a people problem here. And he said, how did you know that? And I said, you got high turnover and low customer service, but you got really low prices. And the point is that you can have a sustainable business like that. They'd been in business for a long time. They're still in business. There's an outlet store up by my church. And so it doesn't require that everybody be happy. And I hope I'm not letting you in on a little secret. Happiness is great, but there are many ways to run a business. You can be the low-cost leader. You can be the high-price brand and all that. The key is finding the balance and understanding that you don't want to try to do both at once, trying to be consistent. Okay? So take the day off, go for a walk. That's what I'm going to do. I did get it running, so I'm happy about that. Have a great day. Like and share. Your friends will know you're smart. Thanks for joining me. I hope you had a good time on Labor Day. Labor Day. Don't work so hard. Work smart. Watch the live streams. Have a great day. Thanks for the likes. Hey, Matthew, nice to see you. I always recognize your picture. It's that black and white. And no, I never did realize that David had multi-pages, and which shows you I can be ahead of you and still not know what's going on, mostly. Matthew's got some great content. I'd say follow Matthew. He's in the likes. I don't know if you can do that. I think if you hover over him, yeah, look at that. You can hover over people on here and see who they are. William, nice to see you. I know you're a new friend. Taylor Corporation, Taylor, up in Minnesota. You know, we should be working together. There's some great things we could do together with machine learning. Nice that you joined me on Labor Day. My wife's up in Minneapolis right now, so I'll come visit. William, let's keep in touch. And I'm going to be doing a webinar later in the month. Katie and I are going to pick the date. Katie's my style consultant, and we're looking for 5 printers that we could help with machine learning, and we could help grow their circ of their customers. And I think Taylor is one that we could really help. Done a lot with Quad over the years, increased their circ by millions and millions. Right. Yeah, William. And, oftentimes I come in through the system engineers people because, marketing or CEO or somebody's saying, we should be doing this machine learning. And you're like, what in the heck is that going to do? You mean we should have robots at the door when the employees come to work in the morning? What could that possibly mean? Well, there are some things that it can mean and that can help you grow a lot. So William, it's great that you showed up. This is so fun. I really like LinkedIn. It's a new format for me. Have a great day. Go for a walk. Quit being productive. It'll get you fired, and then you'll have lots more home time. It won't work it hard. Where's the button here? How do I shut myself off? Oh yeah, here we go.